Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Good. I hope everyone else is doing good. Adam's showing off his shirt.
Yep. Adam's representing Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get to wash my group shirt since I used it last weekend, and I'm like, man, what am I wearing? Like, boom. Hey, Johnny. One of our first visit from Jefferson.
So tonight we have a special guest with us. Annette King has joined us to tell us all about herself and her business and all the adventures that they go on. Welcome, Annette.
Yay. Hi, thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's good to see y'all. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Too long.
Yeah.
So tell us, how did you get into all this, and tell us about your business and all that fun stuff.
Hey, George. Well, I got into the paranormal because I've had experiences since childhood, for as long as I can remember. So, it's just been part of my life. And so when I became an adult, I just started to really get into the investigating and, dabbling in it that way. And then I became, more of a traveler, and it just made sense to me to combine the two into a business of dark tourism and setting up trips and investigations for people. It started out mostly because I wanted to make it affordable so I could go to the cool places. But now, because a lot of people want to do it, right? And
sure,
but it's hard to swallow $1,000 for some of these places. So that's how it started, and then it just grew and became an animal unto itself. And so now I'm doing like haunted honeymoons and girls trips, and then the group trips that I do for us and stuff. So, it's been so much fun, and becoming a travel advisor just to do this.
I bet.
It was.
And what's the name of your company again?
Ghosts Getaways.
And how can people find that?
Well, I've got my ghostsandgetaways.com. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, all the places, Yeah. I'm mostly active on Facebook, I guess. I'm trying to be better with Instagram and TikTok, but there's just so many places to post stuff. and I kind of get, I forget. Johnny, the place that I've been to that's been the most active and had like the most concerning activity is Farrar School in Iowa. Of all the places, that place has been just jacked up active. And then the last time we went, it was so quiet. We were kind of disappointed. But that's the only place that the team has ever left in the middle of the night.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. And it's
not a good vibe. Not a good vibe then.
Well, not that
what happened?
Night. We've been there before where we heard a loud bang that vibrated the floor even, right? I mean, it was
wow.
And of course we're running around because I thought somebody had driven into the building. That's how much the impact was. And hey, Rebecca, and there was nothing, right? On another trip to Farrar School, and Rebecca probably remembers the school, we actually caught audio of the intercom system. Nobody heard it real time, but we heard it later. And when we asked the owner, she said, "Oh yeah, the intercom system, but it's in pieces in a box down in the basement."
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
really?
But yet we could hear it on audio. It was just super crazy, you know. And the night that the team left, I went to the hotel with a migraine. And then they all showed up a couple hours later. And when they went to the boiler room, they said, nope, there was something really bad down there. And they ran out of there. So that's the only place we've ever left. And when we were there the very last time, we went to the boiler room, and it has a not so pleasant feeling, but I didn't feel anything demonic or, you know, super bad. But anyway, that place, Johnny, if it's still, they were trying to sell it. If it's still available for investigations, I definitely recommend going there.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites. And we've been there probably 5 or 6 times over the years. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the middle of BFE, Iowa. I think we flew into Des Moines, and it's like an hour from there maybe, but it's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, we might have to see if that you'll go back again and make another trip.
Yeah, I mean, if it's still open for investigation, I would completely do it. But I don't know. As far as a place that I don't recommend, you know, I don't really have a place that I don't recommend, except for there's maybe 1 or 2 that I kind of question their authenticity there. But I won't get into that because I know some people really like these places.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But how about maybe not recommend from the standpoint of maybe it being too dangerous or too dark rather than no activity or something.
No, I don't really have a place like that. Every place has been a place I would most likely go back to, except for the couple that just, I don't feel like they're active. But
Yeah.
nothing has been, and I purposely weed out places that have like black magic, demonic stuff, history, because I don't want to take myself or people into it. And so that's why I don't really have a place that I stay away from. Yeah.
Yeah. Expose them to those dangers.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
And yes, I would go to Skinwalker Ranch just because I think it's cool. I might regret it later.
Yeah. I would go there too.
Yeah. Sure.
Because you never, I mean, I don't know.
Why not, right?
I mean, I'm kind of, you know, to me, I'm a little bit of a skeptic too, you know. I want to, I'm kind of like a see it to believe it kind of thing, you know. I don't know. There's, you know, I don't know, religious kind of points of views and, you know, and other things, but there could be an explanation as to why those things are happening, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I get it, what you're saying, for sure.
Well, sometimes I think people themselves bring some of that energy with them. It's not necessarily.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
that
I
makes
agree
it-
with that. I agree with that.
You can easily create something and not realize that you're doing it, that it's you that's created this energy.
Yeah.
I think that there's a couple places at least that is more where I feel that it was something that was brought there rather than it's just the normal habitat for that area or anything.
I do a lot of the research, but I do have teammates that help me with that as well. So it's it's a team effort, and we all just work a lot, and it's kind of hard for one person to really do it all.
Yeah.
So I do not turn away help. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I found out, and I didn't know this, and I wish I had known this before, but have you been to the Sixth Realm house in Victoria? I didn't know this until they told us that they have Ouija boards in different places, but they use them and they never close them.
Oh.
And I mean, we didn't have anything. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal to me.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have anything particularly bad happen. And it was actually kind of a quiet night. I could feel like children energies, but they seemed very hesitant to interact. But we didn't know that until like the next morning. And I was like, oh, that would have been.
Anybody could just walk in.
Yeah.
I mean, but they leave the Ouija's open. Like they don't, when they interact with the Ouija's, they don't even close those out. Like just.
They don't even say goodbye or nothing. So everybody just
No.
sees this,
Comes
light.
and goes and like, please.
Yeah. Let's come on in.
Yeah.
Well,
See what
and
they're
I mean,
doing.
I'll admit I'm limited. I don't play with Ouija's, but I had always understood that when you're using a Ouija, you should close it out when you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to say goodbye.
Exactly.
But they told us that they don't. So
it's like leaving your front door open. Anybody could just walk right
Yeah.
in. Good people,
Yeah.
bad people, to rob
Yeah.
you. Take
Great
your TV.
analogy. That's a good analogy too.
well,
Yeah.
and they're bringing
It all
in
sorts.
so many antiques and dolls and things. Who knows what's coming in with those items?
I was just gonna say that's
But the house is gorgeous and it's been done nicely, and it's got some really cool artifacts because they've got like an oddities room. But yeah, I wish it would be just quieter than I expected because I had heard from a lot of people, "Oh, you got to go, it's so active." And then it was just like, I really think I'm a paranormal hot blocker. I really do think I am.
Johnny asked if you're an empath.
Yes. Yeah. But
They
anyway,
saw Annette walk in. They're like, "Nope, we're gonna not go through this door."
we're not doing that.
yeah.
No. No.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a cool house, and I like history and stuff. So, but I did on the way back home, I did go by the old Yoakum Hospital because it hasn't been available for years, and it's just sad to see it sitting there, just nothing going on in that old hospital.
Were you allowed in?
No, it's all locked up, and they got all these private property signs everywhere.
Sure.
But I was like, dang it, we could be investigating that place because we used to get
Yeah.
really good activity there.
Yeah.
Boo.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Do you think that they'd be open to open it to that, or do you think it's just
well,
locked
the
up?
last time I talked to anybody there, they were selling it to someone. Someone was buying it, was going to do something with it, but it doesn't look like anything's been done to the building.
Maybe it fell through.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
it's still. I haven't been able to find a person now to talk to. So.
Hmm.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah.
The paranormal or something.
Is that place you mentioned? Is it like starting to like weather away, or it's just hasn't been used in a while?
The hospital.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's been a year since anyone's been able to book it for an investigation. I mean, like before the pandemic, that long ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Okay. Because I mean that kind of makes me think about like Yorktown, how some of it looks like any minute now it's about to collapse, and
Well, it's not as bad as Yorktown because I know Yorktown that one wall in the basement's going to buckle any time now. Yoakum, at least last time I was in it, wasn't that bad, but I mean, it definitely was not in good shape either. But yeah, we just had some good stuff there. I took my parents there to both Yoakum and Yorktown. That was funny.
Yeah,
that
was.
My very Catholic parents,
Oh. What'd they think of Yorktown?
My mom really enjoyed it just because she likes history too, and she's into the whole dark tourism thing. She's just too much of a chicken to actually do it.
Yeah,
I took her to the jail in Palestine, and one of the other people accidentally brushed her leg, and my mom screamed and ran out the door, like all the way down the stairs and out the door. And later she came back in, and I'm like, "You left your child there. Like you didn't even worry about your child." She was like, "I was scared to death. I was out of here."
fend for yourselves.
Yeah, it was funny.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
But anyway, good times with my parents. But anyway, so and Rebecca, I think you were there on that one because I think we had your SLS. I remember that you were there with us for that. I will say this about the jail though. Rebecca's camera, we had it going right, and my stepdad was there, and there was something that looked to be standing in front of him. And Rebecca, I don't know if you remember this part, but my stepdad was goofing off and he like took a swing at it and it ducked. And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
that can't possibly be. I mean, but that's what it looked like. So Rebecca,
So
do
you see this
remember
little
that?
stick figure just like
Yeah.
bob down. Dang. That's crazy.
And that's when my stepdad was like, okay, I'm a believer. Because up till that point, he was like, no, this is all whatever. But yeah, see, Rebecca's like, it kept moving when he did. It sure did. It was funny.
Oh,
Wow.
that's funny.
But for the Parapalooza to be there, it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun event.
That was on the top floor too. It was just interesting. So
Yeah.
Who's all spending the night?
For this one?
Yeah, for Parapalooza in the jail.
I don't know.
I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go because I think my girl's got her golf tournament that day. I'm waiting to get the final schedule.
Oh.
Otherwise,
I
I'm
think we're all going to stay as long as we can.
Okay.
How are they doing?
I mean,
Is everyone just staying in the jail, or how are they doing that?
Well, Friday night our team's going in, so I think we're just going to stay until it either, like, we don't know if it's going to be 100 degrees outside and there's
that's
no
true.
air up at the top.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that we might be just like stopping wet and say, okay, we need like a real place to shower
Yeah.
or something. I think we're going to try and stay as long as we can, whether it be the middle of the night or morning or.
Yeah. I like the jail. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kara said that she had her sleeping bag pulled when she slept there.
That's right.
oh, very cool.
Yowza.
I am looking forward to our next investigation because last weekend, during the investigation, it was about 2:30 in the morning, and I sat down on the chair and I fell asleep for like 2 minutes. And then we're like, okay, we're going back up there. So we went back upstairs. And last weekend was like the first time I've stayed up like almost all night, all morning, because I didn't go to bed till like 6:15 that morning.
That is unlike you.
Yeah, usually 3:00, 3:30, 3:45, I'm out, but this time I stayed up the whole night. I mean, besides like those 2 minutes, I stayed up and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I did that. But we didn't leave till like 3:30, and then we had like that hour ride.
Yeah.
But it was about an hour ride back to my hotel because they were passing through Fort Smith. And they dropped me off, and then they went back where they were going, and like, okay, thanks for coming.
Nice. Nice. So Annette, where was the last? Did you go to Gettysburg?
Yes, we were in Gettysburg at the end of April, and we investigated the Jenny Wade house and the orphanage. We rented both for 2 nights so we could split up into smaller groups. We had 5 in each because the places aren't really that big. And they were both relatively quiet. We got a few little things in the Jenny Wade house, but the orphanage, we caught this really interesting picture in the pit. And the ones that were there, plus a couple of others, have been trying to debunk this picture with me. And we haven't been able to figure out how, who, what, whatever. So we don't know who it is, but it looks like a woman. We're guessing maybe it was her last name was Carmichael, and she was like the headmistress or whatever you call for the kids. But there's no picture of her, so we don't know what she looks like. But she has a history of being abusive to the children, and we could see potentially her energy, being left behind. But there's no way of knowing who it is exactly. The lady that was there with us, I sent it to her, and she lightened it up. That's her version of the picture, and she has no idea who it is. And in the pit, it's a room that has no windows. It's almost like it was a hidden room because it's a dirt floor. It's the rock walls. And it's almost like the doorway, like it was just like the rock was just chipped away. It's what it looked like to me. And so the kids who, if they misbehaved, they would be thrown into this pit. And so there's no light source whatsoever. Now, when you go down into the downstairs, there is a bigger room leading down towards the pit. And they actually still have the big metal rings where they would chain the kids to the wall. They still have some of those in the wall.
Wow.
Grief.
Yeah. And so it's just tragic when you see, you know, things like that. And the old pictures, there's, you know, some of the buildings in Gettysburg still have bullet holes in them and, you know, scars from the war that they've intentionally left, you know, for the history. Yeah. And so it's just, and even like the Jenny Wade house, they still have the table that she was working on when she got shot, you know, when she was making her bread. So they've tried to keep as much of it as possible, which is just fascinating. But at night, when you can see the light coming in the door through the bullet holes, it's a really stark reminder of what happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we do want to go back. There's 2 houses in the battlefield that you can rent, but it's really hard to get to those.
I bet.
Yeah, because the last time I tried, they only rent out a year in advance, and it's always booked. So it's going to be really hard to get into one of those houses unless there's a better way to do it now. I don't know, but I don't know when that will be. But it was a good trip on the way back. Because I flew into Pittsburgh. We went to the Flight 93 Memorial where the plane crashed during 9/11, and that's really emotional. They have this huge tower, what they call it, Tower of Voices, I think it is. And it's a huge tower that's got chimes built into it. So when the wind blows, it plays music.
Oh, wow.
It's got 40 chimes for the 40 people that died on the plane.
I couldn't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah.
It'd be rough.
We did go to the Sachs Bridge. It's supposed to be haunted. And I just noticed yesterday there's one picture where there's some fuzzy, cloudy something behind me. So I got to look into that picture.
Wow.
But I just noticed it last night when I was doing a big purge off my phone. I got to spend more time on it. But the hotel was perfect because it was walking distance to both places.
Oh, nice.
And my room was at the end, and we had activity. I had activity anyway in our room 2 nights in a row. So at least there was that too. So
nice.
Yeah. Hey, they had told us when I booked that wing, we picked that wing because they told me that's where most of the reports come, and it's the one closest to the orphanage. But they had like a little wire basket in the corner of the sink that had some hand towels, and I had my blow dryer sitting on the edge, and I heard this commotion. And when I went in there, the basket was in the sink and my blow dryer was in the basket. I have no idea. It's just the weirdest thing. My daughter was asleep. She didn't even know what happened. You know, so it was interesting even there, but that was, you know, the loudest thing that I had. The next night, it was all in the bathroom. Just stuff would fall off the sink randomly. And I was the last room, so there was nothing on the other side. So it wasn't like vibration from the other room or, you know, so I don't know. It was interesting.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. So it was a good trip overall, even though we didn't have as much activity as we wanted. But between the one picture at the pit and then the activity in our room, it's pretty good. Yeah.
That picture is crazy that you got.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. And like I said, there's been about 6 of us trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can clearly see her eyebrow, her eyes, the shape of her nose, and
she's
then
got very high
mouth.
cheekbones.
Yeah.
And was it just like you were just like snapping random pictures and that's one of them, or?
Yeah, I was just taking pictures down in the pit. I was trying to show how dark it is because you can't see your hand in front of your face. So I was just trying to show, you know, record how dark it was. And so I've got one where it's just all darkness, and then I've got 2 with the face, and then the rest of them are darkness. And then I have some with the flash where you can see the dirt floor, you see the audio recorder, all that kind of stuff. So we just don't know how, with that much darkness, and nobody saw it real time.
Yeah.
It was only later when we were looking at pictures and stuff that we discovered we had anything at all. So I don't know.
It's so detailed.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And we were trying to figure out, because in some of the other pictures with the flash, you can see my feet where I'm sitting. And we were trying to figure out where she is in the picture. And we were kind of guesstimating that she was like right in front of me based on where the light from the audio recorder is in that corner. Like we were kind of guesstimating that she was basically right in front of me.
So is this picture taken, like, was there any cropping done, like, to make it closer, or was that the full frame?
The only thing that Christy did is she lightened it to see if she could pick up more detail. But that's the picture itself.
So she had to have been right smack in front of you.
Yeah.
To not get her body or anything.
Because I'm right there, and I'm my back's against the wall. I'm sitting on the ground with my back against the wall. The room's not very big. I would guess maybe 10 by 10 at most. Like it's just not big. And so I had one investigator on one side and another person on the other side. And we're all with our backs against the wall. And it's just, we don't know. We don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I was hoping that Christy would have known who it was, but she didn't know either. So
I wish you guys could like somehow find out what that woman looked like.
Yeah.
Well, I figured if they don't have any pictures, I don't know who would.
Yeah.
But I'm going to still dig around because there's got to be something somewhere, right?
That's so fascinating.
Yeah. I was really, really like, I just kept looking at it and I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
Because it's like that person wasn't on our team.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But it kind of makes you like wonder, like, like how you said y'all were just snapping pictures. It kind of makes you wonder, like, what was this person? What was she standing there? Was she in the process of walking towards you? Was she maybe standing there thinking, what the heck are you guys doing here? Or just kind of makes you wonder what's going through her mind at that moment or that.
Well, and the thing that really concerned me when I saw the picture is I typically can feel when energies are around me. I never felt her.
Maybe so that was the plan.
Yeah, well, and that's what one of the other investigators, because she's I guess more of a medium, and she said that was intentional. She didn't want you to know she was there.
But she wanted you to see her.
Yeah, exactly. That's she said. She wanted her presence to be known. She just didn't want you to feel like know she was there, and that's exactly what happened.
Wow. And y'all were sitting.
Yeah.
So she was probably crawling.
Oh, Catherine, don't ask that.
She probably crawled up to you because that's what I would do. She probably.
That's a great visual.
She probably crawled up and was like, "Hey."
Yeah,
like that spider walking
real fast.
Yeah, right.
If I have a bad dream about this, I'm gonna let y'all know. If I go to sleep tonight and have a bad dream about this, I'm letting y'all know.
I know, right?
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you.
I'm here for you, Adam. Anytime.
That's what friends are for.
If your friends can't bring you nightmares, who can? Damn.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
She crawled up and she even gave the side face.
Nah. I see you.
Yeah. Do you see me now?
Oh,
good.
Yeah. So
nice.
Anyway, that was a good trip. Now I got to figure out where we'll go next year because I have no idea. No clue. I'm thinking maybe Conjuring House. I'm kind of tempted for the Conjuring House or maybe a Haunted Hollywood trip. I don't know yet. I'm open to suggestions. Let me know what y'all want. I'll see what I can do. I don't know.
The Conjuring House in Long Island, New York.
I thought it was Rhode
Oh,
Island. Isn't it Rhode Island?
New York is
Oh,
Amityville.
I'm thinking about. I'm thinking. Yes, you're right, Catherine. I'm thinking about at Amityville. Right. That's
Okay,
in
well,
Long Island.
Oh
I'd love
yeah,
to see
that would be
Amityville.
up in New York.
I thought that was
That's
Oh, but I do
actually
need to
that's
tell y'all.
Massachusetts area.
you been there, Amy?
Oh, Amy's been there apparently. Ooh, I want to hear.
Oh my goodness.
So last weekend we had this informal weekend and at the Antlers Inn in Kingsland, right? And I just did it as an informal, just because I've had people say, "Hey, let's just do a hangout weekend," like, you know, and if we want to investigate, then in the state. I'm like, okay. So we went and we were in the train car, which was so cool. But the restaurant Hooper's, which is the house from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so it's supposed
Yeah.
to it's supposedly haunted, right? So I talked to them, and he's going to let us in to investigate.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
I haven't worked out a date yet, but I talked to the innkeeper, and he's like, "Yeah, I can get you in there." I'm like, "Yay!"
And so, what was that again?
In Kingsland. So the house, it was a house, like it wasn't built as a movie set. It was already an existing house, and then it was part of the movie. And then anyway, but now it's a restaurant called Hooper's, and they've got upstairs a mannequin, you know, Leatherface sitting up there, whatever. But it's, you know, and then the innkeeper was at dinner. We were there for dinner, and he was running around with a Leatherface thing, and you know. But in October, check this out. This year is the 50th anniversary of the movie.
Ooh.
Wow.
50 years, but I'm like, yeah, I guess I was a kid when it came out, so okay. But they're going to have this big event in October for the anniversary of the movie. So if you're into horror movies and into that one in particular, then you might want to. They don't have a date
That would
yet.
be Cat.
Catherine.
No,
Yeah.
So
So
her name written all over it.
Yeah.
they hadn't
I get
announced
all nightmares.
they hadn't announced the date yet, but they're going to. So just keep that in mind.
Yay. Yeah. That would be
Have
awesome.
you ever been to the Marshall House in Savannah?
Not yet. We
No.
actually had it booked with Moon River, but then the pandemic happened and we had to cancel
Oh.
everything.
You would
But,
love that place.
I'm working on that and like a train trip between Savannah and Charleston, because I've been doing the train here lately because I want to work on some train itineraries.
Ooh,
That'd be
that'd
fun.
be
Then you could
fun.
do like a murder mystery.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
sorry.
wanted to
Can I yell?
but I wanted to ride the train a few times to know what the experience was like, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
I'm gonna put myself on mute. I get too excited.
Yeah.
I'll blow everybody's speakers off.
Yeah.
I see Johnny's got some questions.
Yeah, he has a lot of good questions.
True crime trips. So I'm gonna probably take my parents to the Branch Davidian compound. I've tried to take them out there before, but it was closed at the time. So I'm gonna take them. I went out there a couple months ago to
Oh,
their
wow.
like their visitor center. So I'm gonna probably do that. If anyone wants to go, you're welcome to go with me. I do want to go down to the Texas Killing Field. So I have a cruise later this summer, so I'm gonna probably like go the night before and check it out and I'm not sure if it's something the team could go do and investigate as a team, but I do want to go to the Killing Fields and check that out. Those are the only two that I've got really in mind right now, Johnny. And Salem, yes, we went to Salem a couple of years ago, and that was pretty awesome too. That was a lot of fun. We actually did. We rented the Lizzie Borden house one night.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah,
The Lizzie Borden. You got to do that too.
Yeah, that was good.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if
I mean,
you're
we're going to go that far, we're going to do as much as we
It's
can.
exactly what I was going to say. If you're going to go up there, you might as well get it all done.
Yeah, what I'm also doing for that area is researching the lighthouses for some lighthouse trips because those are
Yes. Or
That
even
would be cool.
what is it, St. Augustine in Florida?
lots of haunted
Yeah.
lighthouses. Yeah,
I know.
yeah. So I'm just researching a lot of stuff right now.
Nice.
And there's not enough time to do all these trips that I have in my head. I just,
But
not
that's so
enough time for it.
awesome. Just going, being able to go out and just visit these different places, learn about the history, see if you get anything, and that's amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really blessed because my regular 9 to 5, I work from home, so I just work from wherever I'm at the time. And then, of course, my business, I go and I blog about these things and I meet people and make contacts, because it's a lot easier to get yeses rather than just some strange lady calling them up on the phone.
Right.
Hey, you don't know me, but I want to take my group in there in the middle of the night. So what do you say?
Yeah.
And of course, they don't know you from Adam. So I mean, not Adam,
Yeah.
but they don't know you
Yeah, that's a phrase.
from anyone. But
Yeah.
whether you're going to torch their place or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's yeah. And so if I can, travel and, meet people, it's just, then I'll do
Yeah.
it. So,
It's a lot
but
easier.
it's just exhausting because, like I said, I've been gone the last 5 weekends and I'm worn out. So
Yeah.
this weekend, I'm actually hosting a widow lunch, but that's all I'm doing this weekend. So
Yeah.
now my daughter, she came in here and she's like, "What are we doing this weekend?" And I'm like, "Not a damn thing."
We're relaxing.
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, she's not tired. She's 30 years old and she's the passenger in the car. I'm doing all
Yeah.
the driving, so she's not tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm working on a haunted Italy trip for next year. So if anyone likes to do international travel, and I guess I can go ahead and say it will include Poveglia because I have a company that will take us to the island
That is amazing.
and give us 4 hours on the island to investigate.
Oh my gosh.
Holy macaroni.
Now,
Do
it
you
won't
have to
be
sign all
mine.
these waivers?
Oh yeah. We're gonna have to sign our life away practically, and just but none of them will take us out there at night. I couldn't find a single company that would do it, but I'm like, okay, 4 hours during the day, and it's just us. I'll do it.
So are they? So once you go to the island, is there? I mean, are they just dropping you off, or are they checking to make sure that it's not inhabited by something you don't want to run into?
I don't think they check anything out. They're gonna.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a. I think they said 45 minutes on the boat out there and 45 minutes back. So they're just gonna hang there with us for the 4 hours. But it was funny because on the email, I can't tell you how many times they said, that this is at your own risk. I mean, they kept saying that over and over again because the hospital is still standing. It's in ruins, but it's still standing, but it's not the safest structure. It's been empty for 50 years of what they told me. So
Wow.
you can imagine the damage
The weather
and all that. Yeah. So, when we get there, we may not be able to go into the hospital. Maybe we just walk around it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But to be able to go legally onto the island, because I'm not trying to get arrested in Italy. It's amazing that I found a company that I found a couple of them, but this one would give us 4 hours on the island. So that's why I'm going to go with that. Yeah. And they work with my suppliers, so they were able to get in touch with them and confirm all of that. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Yeah,
how
because I'm just
exciting.
afraid at some point Poveglia will be complete. I mean, it had been off limits for a long, long time, and I'm just afraid at some point it's going to be off limits again.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that we can make this happen for next year, and then we'll figure out the next international trip. But it's going to be Rome and Venice for that trip. So
Nice.
And who knows, maybe by that time, like, they might be like, "Oh, we give you more than 4 hours," or we found somebody that can take you overnight. So
yeah, well, when we did Romania last year, we asked for the forest. Like, we already had the itinerary set, and then they were able to modify it to add the Hoia Baciu Haunted Forest. So if I can get them to add more time, I'll do it. I'll ask. I don't care. I mean, the worst that they can do is say no, right? I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, because they're getting paid to take us out there. So whatever.
Sure.
Wow.
But I'm
Tip
trying to
well.
I'm trying to get to these bucket list places that you see on TV, so that we can actually have that experience. So
Have an
yeah,
experience. How
yeah.
I'm
amazing.
gonna write that down. I got my passport.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love Rome. I love the catacombs of Rome and all the places, but I've not been to Venice, so I'm excited about that. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Have you ever thought about, and maybe you've already done it, try and put together like a paranormal cruise?
We went on one with Adam Berry and
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but
Strange something.
yeah. And I don't know. I've thought about it, but
That's a lot.
it is, and I just, with our trips, I can kind of control the size of the groups and
Yeah.
easier to find places to investigate when it's a fixed number of people. But a whole cruise of
Yeah.
people, because we had so many people on that cruise, I just don't know how I could actually have like we want to do like a legit investigation somewhere,
Yeah.
you know.
That's true.
So I mean, we can still do a cruise and just hang out.
I was just gonna say, we could go to locations that are
Yeah,
where the
yeah.
ports are haunted.
Yeah, so that's my only thing about the cruises. I love cruising, but it's just trying to make it happen
Yeah.
in a way that would work.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah. So, but I want to do the train trips, and I'm working on some what I'm calling ghost stories on the beach, where we go to a haunted hotel on the coastline somewhere. Have a local tour guide come and do ghost stories over a bonfire kind of thing on the beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm working on that too. It's just, again, what year am I going to make this happen?
Yeah. Well, you got plenty of time to plan.
Yeah.
No rush.
Yeah. But I have done a Jack the Ripper tour. I've when I went to London, but I've not thought about, but I'm certainly not opposed to going to London. And actually we can do London and Paris because you can take the train between London and Paris. That's easy.
Yeah.
It goes through the English Channel if you're not afraid of water, but I would definitely be open to that. Yeah. I love London. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it just sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
I've just got so many ideas, and it's just, I don't want to book too much and then I can't fill up all the spots.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to figure it all out.
Yeah. No.
Now when I get people that directly contact me for like a haunted honeymoon, those are easier because I already know some places to recommend, and it's just for a couple people. But
yeah,
picking a group gets a little bit more complicated. Little surfers, huh?
Yeah. What's your favorite place that you've investigated?
As far as activity level, would be for our school in Iowa. That's still my favorite. Yeah. We had some really good activity at the John Warnall House in Kansas City. Where else? We've been to so many places. I just can't even keep them all straight. The John Warnall House was under the radar. It's a museum. It's an old antebellum house, and it's not on the paranormal circuit. We went and we got some really crazy stuff there. So it's just interesting, the places that will surprise you. Oh, the Sally House was good because we did Sally House that same weekend too. And we had good activity at Sally House in Atchison. So that was good.
Thanks.
Mansfield Reformatory. I went on a public one there, and that was good. We had really crazy stuff there.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Mansfield Reformatory, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was a public investigation, and it was great though because by 1 o'clock there was only like 4 of us in the whole prison. So everybody else kind of bailed out, but we had really good stuff in solitary. Shadow figures that you could see going past the cell doors and things. It was good. Yeah. There were some little 20-somethings that were there, and they freaked out and left. They ran out. They just left me sitting there on the floor of solitary by myself. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just hang out by myself.
You're surrounded by friends. You just can't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mansfield is good. And I wouldn't mind going there, but they're pretty expensive for a private. So I don't know, but Ed Gein. Yeah, you know what? I have an Ed Gein frame that I bought at one of the oddities things. It's got his pictures. Let me see here. Hang on.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Oh.
Yeah, I like the psychos too.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But it's got like that certificate. It's a copy of it, and it's not like all real stuff, like original
Right.
stuff. But
That's amazing.
but yeah, I would totally do an Ed Gein thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
Jamie Lynn.
Ugh.
There's some energy on that.
Yeah. Craziness.
Yeah, and so that kind of stuff. I'm really into the serial killers, but Johnny, I know, right? It's kind of crazy. But I guess because I can't comprehend how
How
they're
someone could do
capable.
something like that.
Yeah, how they're even willing and like able to go through the act. It blows my mind.
Yeah. It's like trying to figure out what were they thinking and like the psychology and all that stuff behind all that, and like how people can be so different than us. It's just,
And they function in society.
yeah, it's just so strange, because that you feel all these feelings, and you think in a different way, and you can understand how if someone else is upset, you can understand and feel, because you may have felt that way before, or you can relate to people. But there's people that don't understand that at all, and don't have that capability, or went through some sort of traumatic thing in their life, and they became that way. And it's just really crazy how the human mind is very interesting, and how it works.
Yeah,
That was one of my favorite classes in high school, is taking psychology and just learning
love
about
it.
all the different things, because it's just fascinating. It's really fascinating. I don't know.
It is. Especially if you get into like the criminology side of it, where you're not trying to figure out profiling.
Yeah.
And the mental state behind all that.
You slept on his jail cot?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was
Yeah. They didn't wash it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and it's when you think about like, these weirdos were here. It's just kind of like, wow. Oh yeah, absolutely. Message me, sure.
Wow, that's cool.
That's super cool. Thank you. Yeah. I want to do the Clown Motel. So when we were in Vegas in January, we went out to a ghost town that's like a couple hours. It was so funny because there's what was the name of the little town? I can't remember. There's a little town you pass just before you get to the ghost town, and they had a brothel, and I'd never been to a brothel. I mean, I know what they are, and I know they're legal out there. And so, but because of, they were calling it Area 51, so I got really confused with the whole alien references out there, because I'm like, that isn't.
Oh, I know where you were. I know where the brothel's at.
Oh, well, and so, but it was called the Alien Cat House.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
So it was an active brothel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they only. Oh.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we were having lunch there, and we were watching the cars in and out. Like, he doesn't look like somebody that would go to a brothel. Like,
About every 30
You
minutes.
walk in and you're like, wait a minute.
yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is a functioning brothel. I mean, I know they have to, but I'm
I
just
thought
so
this was
naive.
back in the old days. Are y'all doing reenactment?
It's so funny.
And my friends and I were like, man, we're just so naive. We're dumb. We just,
I'd walk in there naive too, and I'd be like,
That's
"Is this a
funny.
reenactment of a
Oh
brothel?"
my gosh.
Be like, "No."
They called the alien
like,
cat house. It was just funny. But
Yeah.
so we went to the ghost town, Rhyolite. We went out there, and they actually have one of the openings to the mine. You can see it. So we did like this little mini hike to the entrance of the mine, but it's fenced off, but you can see into the mine. But it's just kind of cool to see some of the ruins of the town, the buildings and stuff. But the Clown Motel is only like another 2 hours from there. So I'm like, we need to do the Clown Motel.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And they have
That's further north, right?
I can't remember which direction it is, but I'll be leaving for Vegas again at the end of the month. So I'm going to have to do some planning and see what I can figure out for that. Again, I don't know what year that will be. Trying to do Texas investigations, a couple of out of state, and then doing the international one next year. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Wow.
What places would y'all want to go? Like, what's the top place on your list? If there was no limits to money or time, where would you want to go?
There's so many.
Right? I know.
I guess it depends on like the type of experience that you'd want. Because some of them are so different.
That's true. I'd love to go see Mary King's Close in Scotland. All those tunnels that are supposed to be haunted. There's places in Egypt I'd like to go see. I mean, there's just everywhere. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Egypt.
Yeah.
That's on the list too. I don't know what year that will be. So.
Couple years out.
That might be the next one after Italy. That might be the one after Italy is Egypt. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I don't know.
Wow.
Y'all just tell me what y'all want to do, because
the
more the merrier.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure that we can come up with a list. That's for sure.
Yeah, just I don't want anybody to get hurt like on Romania when one of the people broke their hip on the trip. So just don't do that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she was over there for a couple months while she had surgery and.
Can you imagine being in a foreign country when you're injured like that?
Bye, Jamie.
Bye, Jamie.
Thank goodness she had, travel and stuff. So, but she ended up actually in Austria. That's where she went for her surgery, because Romania just came out of communism in 1989. It hasn't been that long. And so their infrastructure still isn't what you would expect it to be or hope it to be. So they ended up taking her to Vienna for surgery.
Oh my. Gosh.
Yeah.
Is she doing okay now?
Yeah, she's recovering, and she hasn't investigated because she's been doing physical therapy and all these things, but it was scary. And we were in the biggest cemetery when it happened. I was like, so they had to like call an ambulance to come into the cemetery to come and get her.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine getting the call to go to a cemetery?
I mean, she couldn't walk. Yeah.
It's kind of backwards.
Man.
Yeah. But I will say that
I bet was she scared to be in the country by herself?
Yeah, well, her sister flew out and stayed with her the whole time.
Oh, okay.
But when you're in a place you don't know the language, it was just a really scary time for her, for all of us, because I'm trying to call her sister in the States, and I'm the tour guide was getting help for her and acting as her interpreter. Yeah, it's crazy, but
those are things to think about, I guess.
Yeah, she didn't. I mean, no one would ever know she'd break a hip just getting off a bus. She didn't fall or anything. It was just a simple step off the bus. So, no injuries allowed. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day we'll laugh and we look back upon that.
I kind of feel like, traveling by yourself, even to like another state, I feel like that's not as dangerous as another country, but it's like, you're 1,000 miles away from your home, and it's like you got to get back, and then you plan to come back, like, let's say, by like Monday, but then you got to stay all the way to like next Friday. It's like, man, what am I gonna do? It's yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
what a pain in the neck,
Yeah.
Well, and that's partly why these group trips are so great, because we can get better pricing as a group, but then just the safety factor,
Yeah.
because if you're by yourself and you're in a foreign country, I mean,
Oh
good luck,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband, we were in Finland and he got hurt, but they spoke English in Finland, so it wasn't so horrible, But if we'd been in Germany,
That'd have been a whole
we
different
were in
story.
Germany on that trip, but if he got hurt in Germany, that's a whole different thing, So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But anyway, so
gosh.
we'll see what happens in the future. Just like I said, y'all better be healthy enough to do it. Just don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Bring your hiking boots and your Band-Aids.
Yeah.
We're ready.
So I don't know. So, and then with my business, I've jumped into merchandise, which has been fun, making T-shirts and tote bags and things. So,
I saw your designs. They're so cool looking.
I have had, okay, I'm just not a creative person like that, right? So I've been working with some designers, to find the kind of things that I want. And it's amazing the stuff that's out there. It's just so many cute things. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what exactly I'm going to do, because I can't do everything. So I know, right? I'm working on a planner for next year. I got a new planner for next year. I've been using the one for this year. I created a planner for this year, a paranormal planner that I've been working with and some teammates just to kind of see how it works for us and getting suggestions for them. So I'm working on a planner for next year with their suggestions and improving on it. I just have lots of things that I'm making, and I don't know what's gonna end up being in the shop, so to speak. But
that would be cool. I'd buy a paranormal planner.
Yep.
It's been fun. So it's just like I have like the usual calendar pages, but then I've got sections, like for your bucket list for the year, your vision board for the year, and then a place where you can record, summaries of paranormal activity that you experienced, favorite places that month, just different things like that.
Like a little journal type thing.
It's a combination. Yeah, I actually call it planner and journal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
That
just
is
to kind of
cool.
record stuff. So, because I use regular planners, but they're not really geared for what I need them to be. And which is why I decided to design one myself.
Yeah, there you go.
So I hope to get it done by August so then I can publish it, but we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, because there's not a lot of, paranormal looking planners out there unless you're, looking towards Halloween or something.
So this
I want one. I want one all year round.
This is a prototype that I printed for myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And it's on Amazon. I did it on Amazon KDP because they'll print it and ship it for me. It's great. And so I printed a copy, and then some teammates got copies, and then we're just going through it and using it to see what works and what doesn't work. So
like, I wish I had this, or I wish I had this area or something.
Well, they were saying, hey, you forgot moon phases. So I'm like, okay, I'll add moon phases.
Oh, yeah.
To it. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually did that today. I finished like I did the planner. I finished it today, but I'm still waiting for feedback because I can go back and tweak it, but I haven't published. I won't publish it for a bit yet until I get all the last bit of revisions for it.
Yeah. Because you could put like entries like what type of equipment, like what type of camera. You know? Yeah.
And then I have at the back, I have a section at the back where it's sort of a vision board review where you kind of look at what you had envisioned for the year, and then you follow up at the end and kind of see, did you do what you thought you would do?
Yeah.
What was better?
What would you do differently? Yeah.
And even a one where, what activity changed you? Like what impacted you during the year? So Yeah.
Very cool.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Can't wait till you get it out there.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited about the shop. I mean, I don't know how far I'll take it. It all started with people asking for t-shirts. That was it.
Yeah.
That's a start.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for anyone who's watching, if there's a place you want to go visit, you know, for your team or for yourself, let me know. I'm happy to try to put something together for you. The haunted honeymoons are always fun because they're usually people that have never done it and they don't know what they're getting into.
Yeah. And how
Have
can
you
they
ever had
contact you?
like anybody
Oh.
come back and tell you like what did they experience?
Yeah, I've had some that were like, oh my God, you know. And usually it's, you know, I pick places that are mild as far as like they're functioning hotels with, you know, with history and paranormal reports and stuff. And then I set up ghost tours for them and other things.
Oh,
And
nice.
some of them are like, oh my God, I couldn't sleep because there was all this stuff happening in my room and I'll never go back again. It was too scary, you know, whatever. And then I have
still
one
haven't had a honeymoon.
right. And then I had some that are like, oh my God, I can't wait to go back again, you know, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Those are fun just because I never know what kind of reaction I'm going to get from them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you just never know. Even in active places, you just never know when something's going to respond and when they're not.
Yeah. And it's just when there are people that aren't one of us, so to speak. I kind of worry sometimes because I don't want them to get so freaked out and then they don't have a good trip after all. You know what I mean? So I kind of walk that fine line with the muggles, as I call them.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, those are
And
fun.
they can contact you on Facebook through Ghosts Getaways and then also your website.
Yes, ghostandgetaways.com. Instagram, I'm Ghosts and Getaways, and also on TikTok and Pinterest. So, yeah, any of those places you can find me, message me.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, we love having you on our show. And,
Yes.
and also, we need to do another investigation, all of us together.
Yes.
I know. We
Yes.
always have a good time, don't we?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, maybe we can do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Are you going to do that this year?
Yeah, I plan on doing it. I'm thinking maybe doing it for my birthday in September.
Aw.
I just got to talk to them and see.
Towards like the end, maybe?
And
When's your birthday?
it's the middle of the month, 14th.
Is it? Okay.
It'll be middle of the month, but I have to get with him and see when he can do it. So, because I guess he doesn't do it usually, but he said he would let us in. So I just got to work it out with the innkeeper. So,
Oh, that would be so amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
yeah, it was, and that's the great thing about going out and just chatting people up and them getting to know that I'm a real person and they're more
And you're not like some crazy lady.
yeah. Oh, thanks, Michael. I appreciate that. I'm trying to be better about videos and things because I get so caught up in moments when I'm investigating. I forget to do lives and stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We do that sometimes too. It's just like,
Yeah.
dang, there were so many opportunities and we forgot.
I know. So, but
Yeah.
I love being on tonight, and I look forward to investigating with y'all again.
We love having you. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, let's try and get something together for that.
Yeah.
The chainsaw one would be great.
Yay. Well,
Yeah.
thanks everybody for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
It was good to
And
see
thanks
everybody
again,
on
Annette.
there.
Yeah. This was
We'll keep
awesome.
in touch.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.